All right, today we are working on lesson 4, which is terminating and repeating decimals. I'm going to be honest, I don't really like the Glencoe's version of this lesson. I think it's kind of confusing and long-winded. So I'm just going to give you the gist of how it works, okay? A terminating decimal is basically a decimal that stops. So when you divide a fraction, the top number into the bottom number, okay, you divide it until it eventually stops. There's a stopping point where you have 0 as a remainder, okay? A repeating decimal is something like what you can see on page 379, and that is where it just keeps going. Like you might have 0.833333333, and it'll just keep going, okay? That's a repeating decimal. It just keeps repeating, cycling the same numbers over. Now, it might be something like 0.267267, and that'll keep repeating. As long as you have an amount of digits that keeps repeating the pattern, it's a repeating decimal. It's never going to end, okay? And that is decided, when it's decided, you put a bar notation on that. And all that is a straight bar over the top. So if I have 0.333, and it just keeps going, if you put a straight bar over the top of it, that lets you know that that's a repeating decimal. It's just going to keep going forever. You can divide all day long, and it's still going to come up with 3s as a remainder. All right? So when we do this, down below, it gives us an example of them dividing. And you divide, I misspoke earlier. I think I said the top into the bottom. It's the bottom into the top. We divide the hard way when we have fractions. So you put your 5 here, and then you, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Now we're cooking. So you divide that bottom number into the top, and after that whole number of 5, you're going to put a point and bring that point, that decimal point, straight up, and that's going to start your decimal. And then they show you the long division. So 12 went into 50 4 times. You got 48. Subtracting, you got 2. They brought down a 0. They didn't use the fancy integrals. 12 went into 20 once. You subtracted 12 and had 8. Brought down another 0. 12 went into 86 times. And they got 72. Now you're going to start seeing that repeating pattern. They got 8 again. 8 went in 6 times, 72. You're going to get 8 again. And you could just keep going and going and going, but you're going to end up with 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and it'll just keep going. Because every time you're going to get 72, and 80 minus 72 is always going to be 8. So therefore, at the end of this, they're just going to put that bar notation at the top, and they don't have to keep dividing anymore. You'll know after like 2 rounds that, oh, this is going to keep going. Okay? So, yes, long division is hard, but once you get to a point, if it keeps repeating, then you know it's a repeating decimal, just put the bar over the top, and you're done. And it's going to be the same thing if you use a calculator. Okay? If I brought up my phone, and I did this in a calculator, okay, and I did 12 divided by 5. Let me try again. 5 divided by 12, my bad. You're going to see that on my phone, I get 0.41666666, and the calculator eventually rounds it to 7. But you can tell by how many 6s there are that it's a repeating decimal. Okay? So, basically what you have to remember is divide the hard way. Divide the bottom into the top. All right? Move up here. So we're going to divide bottom number into the top, put a decimal down, bring it up, add a 0. 9 goes into 80 how many times? 8. That'll be 72. And we got to borrow. And you're going to get an 8. Add a 0 and bring it down. And look what you have again. 80. And that's what we had here. So 8 again, which is going to be 72. And guess what? When we subtract, we're going to get 8 again. And bring down. And so this, you can tell it's going to keep going. 80, 80, 80. Okay? So you can just stop and put the bar over it. You're done. Okay? 11 into 2. Again, make sure you put your decimal down and bring it up. And then you can add a 0. 11 goes into 20 once. Subtract. Add a 0. And 11 will go into 90 8 times, because that'd be 88. And 88 minus, or 90 minus 88 is 2. Now we got 20 again. So let's see if we start repeating here. We get 9 and a 0. So this is going to start repeating the same pattern as well. Now I'm going back to 8. So you're going to end up with this one. You're going to end up with 1, 8, 1, 8, 1, 8. So you can just write a bar over the 1, 8 because those are the 2 digits that repeat. You don't have to write it over all 4 of them, but you can just write it over the 2 numbers that you know are going to keep repeating. 1, 8, 1, 8, 1, 8. All right. And again, if I used my phone, let's see what my phone would say. If I used a calculator and I said 2 divided by 11, this is what I get. 0.1818181818. Okay? So either way you go, whether you use a calculator or you do division the long way, which I'm imagining on some of your part testing this year, they're going to make you divide the long way. Just remember, as soon as you see that pattern start repeating, it's all done. All right? I'm not going to go any further with this video. This is going to be a very short lesson for us. I want you to practice it and try it. And if you have questions, let me know. And we're going to move on to lesson 5. Make it a great day.